Today I'm going to do a story time on my freshman year of college, um, roommate edition, sharing a room with a roommate. So, like everybody that's their first time entering college or whatever, coming in as a freshman, you were kind of scared, especially just you know, you out there, you in the real world now, like ain't no more, you know, this, that, or other, so you on your own or whatever. So of course when I first got to college, I was a little nervous because I mean, who's not gonna be? Being that, I was gonna be away. I mean, I wasn't that far from where I live. But I mean, just experiencing college life, you with like a whole other type of group of people of, different, ages, everybody coming from everywhere. Like you're meeting new people from like different countries maybe that will come, or different, you know, you meet everybody. But see, college, this is where you have like older people, like moms, dads, like, older people. So you like being together in like a mixture of all types of people that's like way older, because you know how some people like to come back and go to college, after whatever. So, but this is about a roommate. Okay, so basically, um, when I went to college, I wanted to stay on the campus, basically, so I can get the feel of the college life and sharing a roommate and all that type of stuff. So I was like, I think I'm gonna stay on campus. So the way we do the roommates or whatever, you have to fill out the application, and then you can choose to be paired with someone that you already know. Like you can choose them to be your roommate, or they'll just pair you up with somebody, because they do it like based off of like certain things you like as type of person that you are. They try to like keep those type of people together, make sure like everybody on the same page and everybody like the same things or whatever. So you fill out a little survey, how you like your room, what type of person are you, like as far as like clean or moderate, or really don't care. So basically, I was paired with, I wasn't really trying to look for anyone to be a roommate, like, because I really didn't know anybody that's really going to the same school that I was, as far as like friend wise or whatever. So, I did my application. I did like the type of person that I am, and this, that, and the other. So I had one roommate that they paired me with, because you can see like who's gonna be sharing the room with you, like on our little portal thing that we go on. And I had one roommate that they paired me up with, but I didn't know her. But some way or another, oh, okay, this is what happened. I think the roommate that I actually was with, or actually got paired with at the end, I believe she inboxed me, because I believe we both was like, because we both was on Facebook, and I guess somehow or another she saw where I was also going to Middle Georgia State. So she inboxed me. She was like, um, "Hey, I saw like where you was going to Middle Georgia State." Da 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 da. So that's how we started conversing and stuff. And that's when we was like, "Oh, okay, you seem cool." Da da da. We both was like, "Oh, we want to be roommates." So when you found someone, or someone that you want to be roommates with, you can email like the housing people and be like, "Hey, I have someone that I prefer to be my roommate. So that's what we did. We both had to email and say, hey, I want her to be my roommate. Hey, I also want her to be my roommate. So they can be agreements like on both ends. So that's what we did. And so we was really hoping we get paired up because like when we was like communicating and texting each other and stuff, like we really clicked. So we was like, this should work out or whatever. So we emailed us back and was like, we got approved to be roommates. So move-in day came. I had to move in a little bit later than move-in day. So she was already moved in and everything, and so she already had everything in the room and all her stuff. But I had to move in a little bit later. So when I finally moved in, I finally met her, and she was cool, really cool, funny. Like when I say this girl is funny, like she is funny. Like we like instantly clicked. Like from the get go, it was like oh yeah, we finna be lit. Like we finna be having fun. Like we finna have the little talks, little girl talks. Like we finna be lit our freshman year. So I had got all moved in and stuff, and um, it was the first day of the class that next day. But the day I moved in that night, we started talking more and this, that, and the other. And she was like, she was like, when she saw me, she thought I was gonna be like country or something like that. I was like, no, like I was like, nah, girl. I don't know. I guess maybe the look that I gave off, she thought maybe I was gonna be like that type of female that's like stuck up or this, that, and the other, or think they better than anybody. But the more we talked and the more we got to know each other, she was like, girl, you ain't nothing like that. I like you, da da da. And we just clicked, and like, we clicked, like, we don't communicate as much as we communicated then, but every now and then we'll um we're both on Facebook. Every now and then she'll tag me in something, or I tag her in something. We still kind of communicate with each other because like we was good roommates. Like we didn't really have no problem. Like we really had no disagreements about anything. Like I mean, we stay in the same room. Like we can't be mad at each other. Like and we gotta sleep in the same room. Like we gotta. But there wasn't ever any problem really. Some people have those problems with their roommate where their roommate be going through their stuff or touching their belongings and stuff like that. Doing little slick stuff like that. There wasn't ever any problem. We respected each other's stuff, you know, belongings, privacy. We respected that. Like we understood each other, like. But she's always be laughing. Like she was like really down to earth. Like she was gonna tell you how it is. She's gonna tell you what it is, what it ain't. But I respect her for that because I mean that's like a real friend. Ain't nobody really gonna be like, you know. So she was like really down to earth. She was gonna speak her mind. She didn't care what anybody thought. But at the end of the day, she was a good person. She was funny. Like, and that's the thing. Like, if you funny, like we're gonna click because I love to laugh. I always laugh. Like, you're gonna always see me laughing. I mean, and that's how she was too. Like, we would laugh about the most craziest stuff. Like, you would probably think we about crazy, but we be in our room like laughing, just like we went through a lot of stuff. Like when I first got to college, um I didn't have a car at the time. So, we would walk to our classes together. To um we would walk back from our classes together. Like we have a big campus. Like rained on, the winter time come, we were freezing trying to walk to class. Like we was, and we both had like a gap where we could go to the caf and eat or whatever. So we both went to the caf together, and then we'll probably have a class after that. Then we'll leave and we'll walk to our classes and all that. And normally our classes would end. We'll have a class that ended at the same time, so that's how we could walk back to our room together. But when you say we were tired, we were tired. Like summer, like the springtime, it was hot. It was hot walking in that sun, and we was tired. Like we be waiting, ready to get back to our room so we can like just chill. Cause in the winter time was even worse. Like walking in that cold weather was not fun, but we've been through it together. When we first started our college, we stayed talking. Like she'll tell me about certain stuff, I tell her about certain stuff. Like we stay having the little girl talks. Like we really got close, like close. And I thought going into college, I thought a lot of people who've been to college, they, I would hear good things, and then I would hear bad things about sharing a room with somebody. Some people would say, oh, it's a good thing, da da da. Some people say it's a bad thing, but it all depends on what type of roommate that you have. So, but me and her, we just clicked like instantly. My sharing a room experience freshman year, it wasn't bad. The type of person I am, I don't really go out too much. I'm kind of like a homebody. I rather stay at home, pretty much. Stay out of trouble, this, that, and the other. So, she also was like that. So, that was another thing that we had in common. We rather just chill at home rather than just, getting out or whatever. We went some places, we went to the movies, or we'll go out, maybe to a party, maybe, or whatever. But we rather would stay, in our room. But we did try to have some fun, try to get into the college life or whatever. Try to get involved in, student affairs or whatever. Because during that time, I had a weekend job. So I would go to school during the week, and I had to I would go home, for the weekend or whatever, because I had to go to work. And when they start, basically like the clubs or whatever, that would be on Thursday. That's when everybody would go clubbing or whatever. But I would leave on Thursdays, or that's when they'll have like the pool party. Like that's where they have all the type of stuff, like the basketball tournaments, the pool party, the club, and all that type of stuff. So I really couldn't, attend those type of things because I always had to go home on Thursday. I mean, I did have a choice to stay there and just drive, to work from there and I come back. But it was a little bit closer. My job was a little bit closer to where I stayed, like, originally. It was a little bit further from the college I was going to. See, I would come back, like, I would leave, like, on a Thursday, and then I'd come back, like, on the Sunday back to campus. And she would always have a story to tell me of, like, what happened. Sometimes she would go home, too. But, I would come back from being at home. And, we'll get into talking, and they'll be ready to hear them little stories. And so it wasn't just, so how our dorms are, it's set up like an apartment. So there's, like, a first floor, second floor, and third floor. We stayed on the second floor, and in our apartment is like 4 rooms inside that apartment. So you walk in, it's like the living room, the kitchen, and then the 4 rooms inside there. So I also had, along with sharing a room with her, I also had 3 other roommates, and we got along pretty good too. But being that me and her actually had to stay in the room together, we communicated a little bit more than we communicate with other roommates. It wasn't a problem or anything. We always gonna be together, like, cause we gonna be in the same room. So it wasn't no problem. So I also shared a room with 3 other people. We got along for the most part. We got along. You know, of course, it was some things that happened. Group of females standing in the room. How that go. But for the most part, it was pretty good. Type of person I am, I stay to myself. I don't really get into it a lot. I just stay to myself. I barely kind of talk. I talk. A lot of people be like, "Oh, you're so quiet." I talk. Most of the time I just stay to myself. I really ain't got nothing to say. I just stay to myself. But I do talk. I am down to earth once you get to know me. You know. Her, we both got close with one of my other roommates. Then it was just the 3 of us. So we started getting close. All 3 of us started getting close. To the whenever I could go to the events, because sometimes they have like later on that night during the weekdays where I still be there and we can go to it. So she'll ask us, do we want to go, and we'll all walk over there. So yeah, we would all link up together and we'll go to stuff like that. Sometimes we'll sit in the living room area, watch movies together. Like, we had got close with her too. So pretty much my roommates was pretty good. My roommate experience was pretty good for the most part. We were all just like me and her, the one I was sharing the room with, just like me, would laugh. And with the other roommate that we kind of got close to, she was older than us, so she would kind of give us like little life hacks about college and stuff like that, and like tips and advice. So that's how we kind of got close with her too. Me and her, the other one that we linked with or we got close with, me and her still talk. That's my girl. She still texts me, check up on me and all that. So we're still close. I also met someone else too that I'm kind of close with from college too. We don't really talk as much, but she was the first person, besides my roommate, she was the first person that I met, and we kind of been cool or whatever ever since then, because we actually had 2 classes together. So you know how when you first go get in class, you have a teacher be like, "Oh, make sure y'all get a friend's number, or someone next to you, get their number, just in case you're not in class one day and you may miss out on something. That way you can text and be like, hey, what did I miss or whatever." So she was sitting next to me. So that's how we exchanged numbers, and that's how we got close or whatever. So we had this biology class together. That's our first class that we had together. And we also had an English class together. Over the course of time of going to those 2 classes and, sitting with each other, sitting beside each other, getting to know each other and stuff like that, we became a little close. So that's when it was her. That's when we started linking up and going places and stuff. So it was me, her, and then my roommate. So those are my college friends that I met, and we still cool and stuff like that. So yeah, I believe that's pretty much it about my college roommate experience, for the most part. But if y'all like this video, like and subscribe it, and hit the bell button to get notifications for more videos that I am going to post. Don't forget to like and subscribe.